Hi everyone, my name is Manny and I am here with ESTNN, joined by Team Liquid Jatt, obviously coming off a strong victory against TSM in the round one of the Mid-Season Showdown. Jatt, how are you? How is the series? How do you feel after that?
You can feel the stress just like moving away because we managed to close them out in that game three. We had just like this massive advantage, but there's definitely the 6 minutes when we have triple inhib and have to reset and like do it again. You're wondering if it's going to be some type of like weird miracle comeback, but it wasn't. So we're really happy to be locked into the winners final now, which is good.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, talking about that game, obviously some people, Azeo, I think, notably said, "Oh, what if Lost gets the full item Zaya?" And you kind of had that, but you also started off the series kind of like in the opposite end, right? You
Yeah.
kind of came back miraculously to some people, obviously, but what can you tell us about that game? Like, how did the team feel? How did you guys kind of like maybe prepare for this, or do you think it was just a fumble from TSM that you guys took advantage on and were able to really come back from that?
Oh, I thought game one was probably like the hardest game of the series. It's one of those games that we feel like we kind of stole.
Yeah.
I think if we lose that game, we still would have been ready to bounce back with something better. If we could, as you saw, like once we had the choice, we did switch to blue side in this series. So maybe we would have seen the TFNR game in game two, and the series kind of would have gone on from there. But yeah, game one definitely felt like we stole one, and we're hoping for a sweep after that, but couldn't quite get it.
Yeah, and it kind of everyone felt like this was going to be a close series. Did you guys always feel like it was going to be a close series, or is like 3-1, maybe a 3-0 more what you were expecting if you came into the series with your A game?
I mean, we definitely expected to win. I think when you look at these two teams in the regular season, both of us ending with 12-6 records, you can expect it to definitely be competitive. So I didn't expect this to be a cakewalk, but I think 3-1 is by no means a surprising result for us. It's what we wanted to have happen.
Of course. And this is almost kind of creeping up there for your 1 year anniversary as a head coach, if I'm not mistaken.
True. True.
And
Yeah.
how has that been? Obviously, circumstances in the world have been kind of weird, but how are you feeling? After almost a full year, have you been learning a lot from international play and stuff, and
Mhm.
kind of like all these hurdles that you guys have gone through since then?
Yeah. Yeah. It's been really whirlwindy 10 months, I think about 11 months at this point.
Yeah.
And even the off season is no real breaks. And then we kind of had our first championship in a sense with lock-in, even though it was still a preseason tournament. And we're kind of hoping to get the second one here. So I'm feeling pretty confident and pretty good. The dopamine is obviously way higher
Yeah.
after a win. So let's stay focused. We are two best of five victories away from I guess they call it a mid-season showdown now, but like a
Yeah.
spring split championship. So that's just where my focus is right now.
All right. So quick fire. Are you guys the favorites to win the whole thing? Do you
I
stop
mean,
everyone from here on out?
I would hope so. Like that's the plan, but it's been throughout the whole season. We need to make sure that we're respecting all of our opponents. I think we have a high amount of respect for TSM. I think this is a really competitive series. Definitely could have gone 5 games if that game one had gone any differently. And we had that very competitive series against Cloud9 in the finals for lock-in. So it's going to be a battle. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, of course. And kind of to finalize this, more so on what some people have been talking about, Burnout and certain players like Tactical. This is kind of his sophomore season. We've
Okay.
seen him be kind of more hit and miss in the outside, right? Just in the
Hmm.
stage
Hmm.
games. Um, is that something that has ever concerned you guys? I know you guys have talked about Burnout, throughout and making sure that all the players are up to snuff. He seemed a lot better this series. It didn't really seem to be affecting him, but is that something that you guys are always monitoring and always taking care of?
Yeah, absolutely. We keep a very we pay very close attention to make sure that our practice schedule is as efficient as it can be for maximum performance. And I would also say, like in particular, this like even the word burnout in this conversation has been one of the bigger echo chambers that I've heard
Yeah.
because it was like a post game interview with Tactical back in like week two
Yeah.
where I don't even like and I've just heard it repeated by probably like 15 different journalists. So, like personally, I'm a little annoyed by the conversation because
Right.
we, performance is one thing, but just the number of times I've heard it has been like very surprising to me. So I think overall, like what's really nice about this is we do get to take 2 off days. We're going to take Sunday and Monday off. We're going to have 2 weeks to prep for our next opponent. That's a number of scrims. Like it's going to be really nice to like refocus on practice, because I do agree the season for every team is going to be a little bit different when we're doing like 3 stage matches a week. That
Right.
means if teams are like normally scrimming, like if you so this is a bit of a tangent because it's away from your original
No, no,
question,
no, completely.
but with the format change,
Yeah.
if we consider last split, teams did 4 scrim days per week across 9 weeks, and this year most teams are doing 3 scrim days per week across 6 weeks. Scrims are actually cut in half.
Right.
So the split is really short from a development standpoint and from a narrative standpoint. So what is going to be really nice is to have this extended period of practice where we can be as rested as possible and perform at our highest level in the winners final and in the finals weekend.
Yeah, of course. And I think you mentioning this is obviously very important because I think within our league, within our esports in general, right,
Mhm.
we really harp onto narratives, you know? I mean, you've
Yeah,
been
for
a
sure.
caster as well, and you kind of know that
Absolutely.
sometimes you really harp on the narratives, and certain people will always be upset. So I'm glad that you also just mentioned kind of like, yeah, being tired of this constant burnout, even though it was like,
Yeah, absolutely. It, it
some
was it was it
things
was a
to do.
comment in an interview
Yeah.
6 weeks ago, and then obviously it's been asked in many other interviews. So it
Yeah, of
sounds like
course.
it kind of like keeps coming up. But like in terms of our level of freshness and our efficiency of practice, I think it's been good. So
Yeah.
I guess that's like kind of the answer to your question. It's not something that's currently an issue with us, and we're feeling really good going into the next in the next match.
Yeah, I mean, I also do think people might have been just wondering, hey, tactical has kind of lost its edge, but I also think
Of
it's
course,
one of those
yeah.
things where you have to adapt. People know to respect you, right? I think there's added
Mm.
value to that. Obviously, you have to adapt your game because once you're at the top, or one of the
Of
better
course, yeah.
players,
And
like
I'm really proud of the way that Tactical has dealt with all of the community criticism and improved some of the areas where he was struggling earlier. I think it was overblown, but it has to start from something, right?
of
So
course.
he definitely has things to improve, and I think he played a great series today. And I'm looking forward to him getting back to smurfing. He's currently the highest ranked AD carry on NA solo queue. He had a good series. Like Tactical is going to be back for playoffs. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, and he seems ready to be taking names. Do you have any
Yeah.
predictions for tomorrow's series and any last words for fans out there that are following Team Liquid?
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen in a playoff series. I think C9 is going to be the favorite. I think that's what everyone's going to tell you, but you really do never know what's going to happen. So we'll
Yeah.
have to wait and see.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, Jatt, for your time, and best
All
of
right.
luck in the rest of the playoffs.
Thank you.
All
See
right.
you.
Bye.